Josiah via the email says, big fan of the podcast. Fans only question for you. The consensus on Kirk Cousins seems to be that he's a good quarterback, but you can't win with him at his current cap hit because it creates huge roster deficiencies everywhere. But at what cap hit could you be a legitimate contender with him at quarterback? In other words, what's the salary number that could pay him while still being able to afford a truly competitive roster that compensates for his shortcomings?
So the thing for me is it's not like completely black and white like this. Like there's not some magical number where you become a championship contender with Kirk Cousins. Like in theory, you could be a championship contending team with Kirk Cousins at his, I think it's 31 million this year, and it's been like 35 million before. Like you would just have had to have drafted a lot better, especially in the middle rounds, the late rounds, find some contributors like that to stack your roster with young, affordable players, which the Vikings just haven't really done at a very high rate over the past 4 or 5 drafts. I mean, they've had some big hits with Justin Jefferson and players like that, but for the most part, that's been the issue, is that they haven't, like, the depth from those 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks hasn't filled out the roster in a way that you can pay your quarterback as much money as they're paying him. And a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, who's a good, solid, above average quarterback, but not going to elevate things really. So, I mean, if I had to like choose a number that would make things a lot easier, I would say, yeah, 10 million, 15 million, even 20 million as a cap hit. Like that gives you more kind of leeway to maybe, if you haven't been as successful in the draft, go out and get another couple impact free agents, or be able to retain guys when you do hit on them. Like the whole Stephon Diggs thing, there was a lot going on there, but maybe if the Vikings have more cap space, they can keep players like him or Xavier Rhodes or guys like that. So it would be a lot easier to build a contending roster if Cousins' cap hit was lower, but there's also a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah, I think to your point, when you look back at the drafts, 2016 is a bust. 2017, they didn't have one. First round pick.
First round, yeah.
In 2019 is a bust. 2020 is Justin Jefferson, but the other first round pick is a bust. 18 is a bust. Yeah. Right. Just like you can't miss on that many top draft picks or trade one to the Eagles for Sam Bradford and then down the line expect to have a roster where you don't have to spend a ton of money on it. So how you draft around the quarterback absolutely matters.